So right now we're going to be constructing an LED with resistors. This is our LED with resistors. What we have here is a jerry rig that was suggested to by one of my coworkers. Brilliant man, basically the MacGyver of the office. He's been called that before. Anyway, the way that this works is quite simple. We take 3 resistors, they could either be with a slip over here or without, and we just stick them through some of the holes over here. Push them through over to the end, and make sure that they go through the holes. I'm going to add this last resistor over here because it was not connected. In we go. There we go. Now we have our LED. We have the ground pin, which is the longest pin, moved upwards. The remaining 3, which are G and B, you can tell because the ground pin is the one second to the last, we push this through the other end. Now this has been spaced out such that it actually spreads apart the pins so that even when we're going to be putting it up against the pegboard, it will actually work a lot better. There we go. We just push it in. Now as you can see, we have a combination of these pins. Now as we solder, the general idea behind the soldering of these pins, the strategy that I found is to actually heat up the pins from below and apply the solder right on top. Right? So I've had so many iterations of how to best do this, it's quite ridiculous. But this seems to be working at the moment. I'm sure in about 2 hours I'll be changing my methodology again. And something to just get it. Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm clearly very tired. Alright. So we try to get it right in between, and through the magic of capillary action, what's going to end up happening is the solder is going to seep through between the pins and spread itself out, go on both ends, and you get a nice clean connection. There we go. One pin is completed. Once you get one down, it gets a lot easier. There we go. And I feel confident in that one. Wow, I am ridiculously tired. There we go. Alright, moving on to the next one. And I have a feeling that this one's actually going to be a lot faster. Now there's no rush. It's a lot more important to get a nice, good connection than to get it done fast. So now we're moving on to the third and final pin. Let's get this one done. And just fix that up a little bit. And I believe we're done. This one, just pull off the sheet on the back, pull it out through the hole, and ooh, there we go. You could tell that you definitely soldered it well if it doesn't come apart. There you go. According to the time with me talking and soldering, it takes about 4 minutes to get one of these done. So actually not bad. Alright, let's see how long it'll take to do one without me talking. So I'm curious myself, and just to kind of like have a little time, like check rather. Right now it is 3:21. I'm going to make 4 more LEDs before I go home and crash in my bed. So, no talking. It is 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go. By the way, it does not matter which one of these you put in first, as long as it's put in. And what I mean is either the LED or the resistors first. Minute and 30 seconds. Nice. Okay. Now, when soldering, one of the most important things to remember is that you need to, absolutely, without a doubt, without a question, you have to have good ventilation. This stuff is not something you want to be breathing. If you remember the Blendtec guy, don't breathe this. Well, I think the guy knows what he's talking about. He definitely knows his blenders, that's for sure. Now, I guess this is the part of the night where I start just yammering on about random things. Speaking of random things to yammer on about, I just finished watching Gilmore Girls, and oh my god, did I start crying as soon as that ended. Jeez, I absolutely love that show. Just like, you know, when you binge watch one of these old 90s TV shows, actually, Gilmore Girls was in 2000, but specifics, but just like, I don't know, I just feel like you get this attachment to the characters, and you're watching them for hours upon hours. I think with Gilmore Girls, I think I devoted definitely over 100 hours watching it, or doing things while it was playing in the background, and I don't know, I just like, it's so emotional. I felt like those characters became family. Lorelai Gilmore, Rory Gilmore, who's also Lorelai Gilmore. Although I have to say, Richard Gilmore, I think, is probably one of my favorite characters, because he's a character who's definitely willing to go with the times. He's not stubborn like his wife, but he's a man who definitely knows how to, and who does, stick to his principles. But again, very open-minded. I don't know why, maybe I'm just tired or just recovering from my medication, but I felt like the Gilmore grandparents, Richard and Emily, were very much akin to my own grandparents, where my grandmother would seem like Emily Gilmore, where very stubborn, very passive aggressive. Can't avoid that. I mean, it's my grandmother, and definitely like loving and definitely good-hearted, good-willed. Like everything is for family, absolutely, without a doubt. And my grandfather and Richard definitely, without a doubt, have a lot of similarities between the two. Very passionate about what they do. My grandfather, avid electrical engineer, electrician, handyman, contractor, just brilliant man. He loved it, absolutely. In Gilmore Girls, Richard was an insurance salesman, or just an insurance man. I don't know if he actually sold insurance, but definitely held a very high position in an insurance firm. And I guess the insurance that he worked with was for large company. I mean, I think there was an episode where they talked about how Lorelai's Inn, which beautiful location she made and picked, it was absolutely gorgeous, was too small of a company and they were actually just surprised by the fact that they had their business. So that just shows you, like, he wasn't just like Joe Schmo insurance man who kind of walks around and tries to sell you life insurance. No, it's a man who knows his business, loves his business, and I think just wants to be in the economy or in finance and be stable, which insurance is absolutely stable. Everyone needs insurance. Even though it's the biggest scam in the world, there's absolutely no avoiding it. And it does help people when it's not being scam-like. It's a good idea. Practice, not so much. Like communism. That was me burning myself. Be sure to very much enjoy the video as soon as I see it. Of myself burning. Scorched earth policy. There we go. Oh, wonderful. Soldering is so relaxing. Go. Just churning these out one by one by one. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, 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 swimming. Should watch Finding Nemo. It's a great movie. And look at that, I'm yammering on again. Wow. That's interesting. Ooh, I'm going to be watching The Hobbit on Saturday night. So, I guess since I'm yammering on to myself, I should probably plan things out. So, this I should definitely be approaching completion tomorrow. And if I don't, then there's definitely going to be a serious problem that will have to be addressed. But the general idea is that this is going to be taken care of by tomorrow. This has to be finished by tomorrow. No way, no how that I can't finish this by tomorrow. Like, no option. Then I have my final to study for graphics, which is going to be on Wednesday. Right? So I'll have to talk to my friends about it, see what's happening with that. But I also have to finish my projects for graphics, which I haven't finished because Alexander and Spiknecki, brilliant. Both of them, absolutely brilliant. I can't say anything about their brilliance. Their work ethics, never thought I'd find people who were worse than I was. Jeez. And that's saying something, because I'm awful. But look at me. It's 3:31 in the morning, and I am soldering. Which, by the way, based on the rate that I'm soldering at the time that Jamil left, I probably I more than likely already have enough LEDs to actually make the base 8x8 matrix. but why not go more, right? I think when I head home right now, I'm going to take the Uno with me so that I could try to figure out how to get this code working. Because as soon as I could get that working, tomorrow when Jamil comes by, we don't have to really worry too much about anything else. We could just kind of come in and just start soldering this thing together. Put it on the pegboard. Get this thing running. Get this thing working. We will be awesome! Because, quite frankly, based on all of my friends who have taken this class, Electrical Engineering 425, none of them really do much with the project that they are assigned. And I don't know. I guess I'm over-ambitious. I am. But I like being ambitious. I like taking on these crazy ideas, and then, I guess this wasn't too crazy of an idea, but I like taking something and going with it. And you know what? It's fun. This is a fun-ass project, right? And nobody could say otherwise. And the only way that I could prove myself is by actually completing this project. Because I know my grades are crap. I know that sometimes I don't fulfill my promises, but I need to make up for the fact that I'm unreliable. And one way to do that is by making awesome shit. That's my strategy in life. I am unreliable, but when I get something done, it is amazing. Thank you, and have a lovely day. Speaking of amazing, I need to figure out a way to make these lights work better. And I need to figure out a way to get Gustavo's present actually done. Because the more I think about it, the more almost impossible, what the fuck are you thinking type thing this seems like. But I can do it. I can do it. There's plenty of stuff online about it. It just doesn't talk about how to do something of this scale. Now, I don't know if I'll record the whole thing as I make it, but yeah, if I record it, I'll just use up my whole fucking hard drive. But come on, come on, come on. There we go. We'll see what happens. Cut off. There's me snorting again. Come on, come on, come on. And out we go. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. There we go. Okay. Wow, these, you know what? The more of these you do, really, it truly is a testament to how much better your soldering gets after doing, like, a lot of these. I don't know how many I've made, but this is how many LEDs I have remaining. Just put this up. Hi. Good morning. It is currently 3:35. I have completely lost my mind 22 years ago when I was born. I guess I was never really born with it. Maybe I was chopped in my head. I don't know. 1 LED. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 16 over here, and I think that's all of them. So that's 16 LEDs. That means that what I have remaining, or rather, I have soldered, or me and Jamil have soldered, 84 LEDs. There is, at most, 84 LEDs in there. There's definitely 80. There are definitely 100% 80 LEDs have been completed today. That is awesome. Good night and good luck.